For centuries, humans believed one thing could never be taken from them: their imagination. You could build a machine that calculates faster than any human brain. You could build one that memorizes billions of facts in seconds. But create, dream, invent something truly original, that felt sacred. That felt human. But here's the question that's keeping scientists, artists, and psychologists up at night right now. What if that belief is no longer as safe as we thought? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share isn't just fascinating. It's going to change the way you think about your own creative potential forever. Not long ago, even when AI started generating images, writing stories, and composing music, people weren't really threatened. The common belief was simple. It's just copying. It's just remixing what already exists. And honestly, that felt reassuring. But then something happened. Not a viral moment, not a flashy demo video. Something far more serious. Researchers designed a large-scale study, one that didn't rely on opinions, feelings, or personal taste. They put humans and artificial intelligence through the exact same creative challenges, scored with the exact same tools. No bias, no favoritism, just raw results. And what they found shook the entire conversation. Here's what the test looked like, and don't let its simplicity fool you. Participants were asked to come up with a small set of words, but not just any words. Words that are as far apart in meaning as possible. Not opposites, not related words, not words from the same topic. Think of it like this. If someone says ocean and sandwich and justice, those three words live in completely different mental universes. The further apart those words are in meaning, the higher the creativity score. Now, this isn't just a word game. This test is actually measuring something deep, something psychologists call associative thinking, the ability to leap between completely different concepts, to break free from mental patterns, to explore ideas that most people would never connect. This is the foundation of creativity. Before any idea becomes a painting, a song, a business plan, or an invention, it starts here, in the wild, open space of free exploration. When this test was given to over 100,000 real people, the results looked exactly like you'd expect. Most people landed in the middle, some struggled, some did well. A small group truly stood out, producing word combinations that covered an incredible range of creative territory. Then, researchers gave the same test to AI systems, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. Several AI models didn't just land near the human average, they crossed it. One model outperformed the average human score by a statistically significant margin. Others matched it almost perfectly. And here's the twist that surprised even the scientists. Some smaller AI models actually performed better than larger ones, proving that raw size and computing power alone don't determine creative output. Now, before you panic, let me tell you the part the headlines always leave out. The moment researchers stopped comparing AI to the average human and started comparing it to the most creative humans, everything changed. The top 50% of human participants, they outscored every single AI model tested. The top 25%, the gap grew even wider. The top 10%, it wasn't even close. The most creative human minds consistently produced results that no AI could match, regardless of how the system was built or tuned. This is not a story of machines slowly catching up to humans across the board. This is a story of a step change. AI has risen above average performance, but when it reaches the upper levels of human creativity, it hits a wall, and that wall tells us exactly where the real boundary sits today. So why can AI perform so well on certain creative measures? Because language models are extraordinary explorers. They can scan across millions of concepts, combine distant ideas, and avoid the mental habits that hold most humans back. Think about it. When you brainstorm, you naturally drift toward familiar territory, your past experiences, your preferences, your comfort zone. Machines don't have that baggage. But here's what machines will never have, at least not the way you do: judgment. AI can generate 1,000 ideas, but it has no idea which ones matter. It doesn't feel the moment when something clicks. It doesn't know when an idea is worth developing versus when it should be thrown away. It doesn't connect ideas to real human emotion, culture, lived experience, or purpose. It can explore widely, but it cannot choose wisely. Here's another fascinating layer to this story. AI creativity isn't fixed. There's actually a setting. Think of it like a dial that controls how adventurous or safe the AI's outputs are. Turn it low, the AI plays it safe. Familiar words, predictable patterns. Turn it high, it takes risks. It explores wild combinations. Its creative scores shoot up dramatically. At high enough levels, one model's creative score surpassed the majority of human responses. But, and this is critical, as you push that dial higher, something else breaks down: coherence. The ideas start falling apart. They stop making sense together. They feel scattered rather than creative. Push too far and you don't get brilliance, you get noise. Humans manage this balance naturally. We explore, then we pull back. We sense when we've gone too far. We feel when novelty becomes confusion. AI doesn't sense this. It explores because it's been told to, not because it understands when to stop. So let's cut through the noise and get to the truth. This research is not saying AI is about to replace creative people. What it is saying is that the creative baseline has shifted. Tasks that once required a moderately creative person, early-stage brainstorming, generating variations of ideas, exploring concepts in bulk, those tasks are now within the reach of machines. But the highest levels of creative work, that remains firmly, powerfully human. The people operating at that level don't just generate ideas, they evaluate them, they discard most of them, they refine the few that truly matter, and they connect those ideas to something machines will never fully grasp: meaning, emotion, and lived human experience. There's also a surprising twist the data revealed. Some newer, more advanced AI models actually scored lower on creativity than older versions. Why? Because updates focused on making them safer, cheaper, and more efficient also made them more predictable, more repetitive. In trying to make AI more reliable, engineers accidentally squeezed out the behavior that looked creative. Humans don't work that way. Our creativity is beautifully inefficient. We waste time. We chase ideas that seem to lead nowhere. We obsess over things that make no immediate sense. And that inefficiency, that's the feature. Here's what should actually concern you, and it has nothing to do with AI becoming more creative than humans. The real danger is this: when unlimited ideas are available on demand, when brainstorming becomes instant and effortless, people might stop exercising the most important creative muscle they have: the ability to choose what matters. Volume is becoming cheap. Direction is becoming priceless. Taste, judgment, and intentional thinking, these are the skills that will define the most successful, most creative humans of the next generation. Used carelessly, AI flattens creative work into formula. Used intentionally, it expands the space you can explore without ever replacing the human judgment that gives that exploration meaning. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Your creativity isn't under threat, but it is under a new kind of pressure. The pressure to go deeper, not just wider. To not just generate ideas, but to develop them. To not just think differently, but to think with intention. The ceiling of true creativity still belongs to people, to you, who can move through ideas with purpose rather than just speed. The machine can explore, but you can mean something. And in a world drowning in content, that is the rarest, most powerful gift of all. If this opened your mind today, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. Hit that like button if it was valuable, and subscribe to Next Level Motivation YouTube channel so you never miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one. Keep pushing, keep creating, and never level up.